Take care.
Research is ongoing. Manufacturing efficiency, payload distribution, chemical composition, even down to the recycling of materials. The CREO, or
Lab 1-2 unlocked and open.
Please, that's a restricted area. Hush hush and all that.
I've just received a communication from Mary Shaw. Name doesn't ring a bell? Well, it fucking should. It's Michael Shaw's sister. Candidates for the program were meant to have no family or friends. This is on your head. I expect this situation dealt with quickly and quietly.
I won't take that, you know. Years of toiling for the good of mankind. All that. Somebody had to do the dirty work. They were too afraid to get their manicured little hands dirty. A little too old for hide and seek, aren't we? Come out, wherever you are.
You've trusted me this far. We all want the same thing. We've looked at other ways, and there's always going to be risks. Utopia works, guaranteed. I know the board is balking at the figures, but think of it as cleaning house. Problem solved within 1 generation. It'll just be a much smaller one than previously estimated, but that's a good thing. We've been worrying about what to do with overpopulation for almost 100 years.
Tell me, who is the real monster? The wolf devouring the sheep, or the hunter murdering its cubs in their lair?
Attention, please. Contingency protocol for asset preservation has been activated.
An inquisitive mind. That's the spirit. And besides, things without all remedy should be without regard, right? What's done is done.
You better explain yourself. I'm running on a short fuse right now.
I would be wasting my breath on you. You failed to see, or maybe you chose not to. But I'm trying to save mankind here. Not just the species. No, I'm trying to save all of us. We're flawed, incomplete. We're not yet prepared to re-enter paradise, you see. We wouldn't survive. My Homo Machinalis could change that. They are the living proof that we could be more than human. We, all of us, could fill the world of tomorrow. Ascended beings in a new utopia.
You're sick.
Oh, you moral crusaders. Always the first to swing the sword from the little corner of self-righteousness. Chavez was exactly the same. Always beyond reproach, even when the first reports on resolve came in. I don't claim to know the one truth, because there isn't one. Everybody takes sides, and always their own. Good, evil, all nonsense and totally subjective. Just children's stories. As we grow older, mortality beckons, and so we reach for the divine. Same fairy stories, different binding. The individual must be prepared to sacrifice himself for the many. The species is what's important.
So, these tin men are supposed to be our future?
Not pretty, is it? But the truth rarely is. Just think of it as an upgrade to survive the world of utopia. Our meat machines are inadequate. We won't make it. Unless you hightail it back to your master's tower. We have the will to survive as individuals. But as a species, we need a push. There's no winning without sacrifice. I just wanted a level playing field to create a utopia for all.
So what about utopia?
Let me put the record straight. Unlike Resolve, which will exterminate us slowly and painfully over generations, my nanites do a quick and clean job. I've minimized the suffering, a fresh start, a clean slate for those that remain. If that concerns you now, then you shouldn't have tried and stopped my little pet project. Anyway, I'm sure you'll be safe. Go on. Go smoke a nice fat stogie and watch the apocalypse from your glass tower with the rest of them.
I think you've got me confused with somebody else. I'm not working for the board.
Maybe you are. maybe you're not. What difference does it make now? This place is going straight to hell, and we're going with it. Or we're already there, and didn't even notice.
So you know what's going on here?
I'm honored by your assumption, but even I have my limits. I do know a mob stormed my labs, and my colleagues are either dead, dumb, or simply gone. So much for security. And what's the board doing, Still twiddling their thumbs over the launch of Utopia? I submitted my final analysis weeks ago, and I'm still waiting. We need people who can make decisions around here.
What about Chavez?
Yes, what about her? Not seen since she threw a tantrum and got kicked out of my labs. But still, wonderful woman. And an extraordinary scientist. An incredible intellect. Kind-hearted and so ambitious, you have to admire a fighter. But resolve didn't work. We needed to act and act fast. And I had the solution. It's just a shame her ego got in the way of her career.
I think we're done here.
In that case, if you don't mind, Inspector, I need to get back to work. Terribly important things to do. Terribly important.
Mark Dean, perfect candidate for the program. We pulled him off the streets and put him to work in recycling a couple of weeks back. He's a complete zero. We even DNA typed him to outside databases. No living relatives. He's so happy to have a place to sleep and 3 square meals a day, he'll happily sign the consent forms.
Warning. Security breach detected. Unauthorized implementation of contingency protocol confirmed. Attention. Security forces have entered this sector.
After all,
For your own safety, please comply with all official requests.
Welcome, Warren.